Alrighty, and we are back. And I think the last time I played, I attempted a 110, but I failed. Which that doesn't surprise me too much. I mean, Zunimassa isn't bad, but it's definitely not the most powerful build, and I do not, as of yet, have, I don't have an ancient legendary version of this weapon, although that damage is pretty good, 495%, that is pretty good. But, ancient legendary version like that would be better. All right. So I believe I was thinking about giving up Esoteric Alteration for Bane of the Trapped. Oh yeah. And man, I thought about it all last night, and I can't think of what I was thinking. It must be this. Shoot a stone shoots a cold dart that will slow the enemy by 60%. Man, I could swear that there was a skill somewhere that does a little bit of crowd control. And the whole idea is being able to attack from a distance while still getting my Bane of the Trapped. And there are some ways that I can do it. For instance, just maybe it was here. What does this look like? Chill. Does that count as some kind of crowd control that would... Maybe it was acid bomb. Must be this. I have a problem with this that I have.
Need more time.
Is that it's not a very large area of effect. I just don't think that's going to be a big enough area of effect. You know, the wave of piranhas is just so large that you know, and a lot of my darts are going to shoot in that kind of straight line. I think one other mistake I was making when I was playing that rift is if, like, let's say the enemy is right here and I'm running and I see it, I'll tend to run past the enemy and then shoot it from this direction, with the idea that my minions will kind of have a greater chance of catching up. But I don't think that's I just don't think that's a good idea anymore. I think I just gotta kind of come up to the enemy, and then that way when I do my piranhas this way, hopefully all of my dart shooters will all be shooting in this same direction. Versus if I come here and I shoot that way, then like all my darts are going all over the place, and a lot of them probably are not hitting or getting any collateral kills. I think I just gotta go with this, and I just gotta bite the bullet and be close to the enemy. I really just think that's what I gotta do. This here will hopefully help me to get my spirit walk more often. Maybe even that. And the soul harvest. Oops. I don't know. This is just really risky. I'm sure I'm gonna die more often with that. And I'll just, the only thing I'll do is I'll just go back to the armor the rubies in here. I also can potentially, at least a little bit, utilize Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge to make sure I'm running a little bit more. I just don't know how much that's going to help me. I mean, that esoteric alteration really really helps me out big time. Damage reduction. I don't know how I'm going to be able to survive without it, but maybe as long as I'm just running, not standing still too much, unless I'm relatively safe, then I don't know. And maybe with this, maybe by killing enough enemies, I'll be able to use Spirit Walk more often. Who knows, maybe. Depending on how many enemies I kill. Let's try that 110 again. There we go. Alright, here we go.
Done.
Prove yourself.
Look, just over there.
I need healing.
Already. Wow, already.
I cannot do that. I must heal.
Wow. Oh, I missed. I gotta be close to the enemies.
Heal me. Needs more time. Not ready yet. Need help.
There's just no way.
Needs more time. Need more time.
Can't. I'm just too squishy.
Perfect strike. I am hurt. Heal me. I cannot do that. Not ready yet.
Even these little guys, I just can't stay alive. Without that esoteric alteration or some other defense. Now there were two. So there were 2 elite packs there. The real tough part about the Zunimassa build is you're only gonna deal damage to the enemies that you hit with a mana spender. So if I'm standing here and I got enemies all around me and I do this, I'm only gonna be able to do damage to these enemies right here. Even if there's darts going all over the place, these are the only guys getting damage. And that's why I like the other poison dart build, the Legacy of Dreams, because with that, everybody's taking damage that gets hit by a dart, not just the ones that are hit by the mana spender. So it's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit better in that respect. Now I could try a different thing. For instance, like let's say Pestilence. Where is it? Locustorm, I mean. But it would be the Pestilence version. So I'd go here. Problem is that they jump to like random enemies. So like there's enemies all over the place. Like I can't tell necessarily who's been hit when or anything like that. So it's like, you know, it could just start darting and darting all over, darting all over, darting all over, and I don't know. And I, you know, I was thinking I could just move and gain the damage bonus from Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge. Problem with that is that when I'm moving, I'm not, you know, I'm not doing damage. I'm not attacking. So it's like I could move a little bit, attack, move a little bit, attack, move a little bit, attack, move, but you know, it's like I'm just not doing very much in that situation. Let's try something. I could think about maybe going, well, I can't even do that. Well, maybe I could. I was thinking about Unity and maybe I was thinking about maybe Unity and Hellfire Amulet for another passive skill. This might be nice, but it would do a lot less damage. I mean a lot less damage. Not just a little less damage, a lot less damage. And this one here would be just about the same damage, wouldn't it? I used to use this one quite a bit. Really not much way to really get around a lot of the deficiencies in this build. I mean, even those little guys, even those guys, it's like I said, you know, if I come out of, let's say this is the door, and I come out, and the enemies are all up here, then I can kind of do this. I can kind of hit them with piranhas. And do pretty good. Because then all of my darts hopefully will be going up in this direction, hitting everyone. But if there's enemies all around, I can only shoot in one direction, and that's every 8 seconds. And some people will use Paranado, which kind of seems nice, except for the fact that Paranado's cooldown time is 16 seconds. So, after 8 seconds, I'm only dealing damage for 8 seconds. And then after that, I'm not going to be dealing any damage until the next Paranado comes up. Which might be another at least 5 or 6 seconds. So it's like I'm only doing half damage, so to speak. Well, I mean, other than the Hellfire amulet, I don't know what other amulets I could use. Some people like Squirt's necklace. I don't like Squirt's necklace. I mean, you take even more damage. And when you do take damage, you lose all the squirty stacks. So, what good does it do? Well, I really do just hate the thought of. Really can't give up this. Really can't give up this. I think this is a win condition for this build. I think you've got to have this. Helps you so much getting to the next elite or pylon so fast. And while you're in the spirit realm, you deal 100% increased damage. So This didn't help me at all. Maybe this instead. You know, because this would have given me, especially in that fight, this would have given me 120 bonus to physical, poison, fire, cold. Every enemy in 20 yards. I don't know how much damage reduction that would have been, but... think about that. And there's no point of giving up this for just another defensive ability, so that wouldn't make any sense. Let me try another one. I'll try it with just that swampland attunement. If it doesn't work here, I'm just gonna say, you know, unless I come up with another idea, this is probably just the best I can get without an ancient legendary weapon at the very least. Let's try it.
Done.
Are you strong enough to survive the trials? I must heal.
What a dull ass.
Needs more time. I grow weak.
Why didn't...
Need more time.
Oh, come on.
Need help.
I don't get it.
Not ready yet.
Oh, come on. No. Even with that swampland attunement. I don't know what he's shooting at me, but it does a lot of damage. I can't even kill these little guys.
Need more time.
Might be able to do it with this map, believe it or not.
I feel weak. Not ready yet. Need more time. I strike at your heart. Hell returns to me. Not ready yet. I grow weak.
Missed it. That, believe it or not, that
returns to me.
alright.
Needs more time.
Obviously not working.
Down.
I don't know. You just combination of not enough damage and not enough damage reduction. It's just not enough to it. And the illusionist guys actually I think they greatly nerfed the build, because once those guys go illusion, I have to cast the piranhas again to get all the illusions, because otherwise the illusions themselves are not taking hardly any damage, and they're just remaining on the battlefield hitting me, doing damage to me. There's so many different builds that nerf this setup, and I have to hit all of them, and I can only hit a certain range with my piranhas. It's just the whole idea of having to hit the enemies with a mana spender. That whole concept is really what I don't like about this build, this setup. So I think at this point I'm just gonna call this Zunimassa setup pretty much the best that I can do. And I thought that this Simplicity Strength would give me enough recovery to where I wouldn't need any kind of life per hit or anything, but I've got very little recovery as it is, I guess. Yeah, look, I mean, I got 30 million toughness, but only 1/2 of a million recovery. Of course, that doesn't really take into account this hits with primary abilities. Still, I don't know. It's just not gonna work. I think what I gotta do is I just gotta try the next one. I gotta try the Ancient Legendary version, Legacy of Dreams version of this, which is more or less the same thing, except instead of the 6-piece Zunimassa, I'm using actual items. So I'll just be taking off all the greeny items, except this. I think I'll be leaving this on. And, I think that's the only Ancient Legendary amulet I have. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna be forced into trying to craft an ancient
I
legendary
imagined that the hero of prophecy would be more lively.
Hellfire amulet. 'Cause I don't think I have anything good. I really don't want a Scorch necklace. So this is the only ancient legendary amulet that I got. Aside from, now I could use this, and you know maybe this. Oh no, not that one. I could use this. As long as I don't have Compass Rose with it, I should be, you know, I'll be all right. If I trade in that vitality for a socket, this will equal my current Traveler's Pledge. But I'd rather have a good Hellfire amulet, and then that way I could pick up an extra passive skill. Because that, you know, the Traveler's Pledge just it won't have any special ability. I could go with S of Johan, at least temporarily. Which is not a bad idea, to pool all the enemies together. The only problem I have with this S of Johan is those abilities are horrible. I'm going to have to trade in, probably reduce all resource costs. Or maybe reduce cooldown, either one. Alright, well, let me start up a new recording, and I'll start putting together Legacy of Dreams build of Poison Dark Carnival. I will be back.